I somehow always end up making my way back here.
All right, this is gonna be chaotic.
I have the front yoke of the sweater started. Tell me how I was making this, and I thought, oh yeah, that's a size small. Hi friends, it's Melanie and welcome to today's video. I have been so excited to start this video. We are taking on the big project of knitting a sweater. This was on the top of my list for my New Year's crafting resolutions. So let's just get straight into it. I actually have no idea how long this is gonna take or how difficult it's gonna be, but thank you for being here. If you are knitting or crocheting or doing any kind of crafting with me, as always, tell me in the comments what you're working on during this video because I love to know what we're crafting together. But other than that, let's go head to the yarn store and pick up our supplies so we can get started on the sweater. This is also kind of a big deal for me because I usually get all of my yarn at Joann's, but I am adventuring into using nicer fibers because my goal is for this sweater to be one that I will actually wear. So we're going to an actual yarn store right now. I'm not quite sure if you can hear it, but it is so rainy out. It was actually a whole trek to get here, but also setting me in the mood to really get knitting today. So let's go see what this yarn store had. Alright guys, this is not the update I was necessarily hoping for. I actually think I do this every single time I go to a yarn store. I went in there, I started doing the math based on how many grams of yarn I would need, and I actually think my sweater would cost like $200 or more to get all the supplies here, and I'm not even very confident in my knitting skills, so I'm sorry, but we're going to Joann's and I'm gonna get some cheaper yarn, and this will be my first round of this sweater, and if it turns out good, then maybe I'll cave and spend $200 on quality yarn. Do I not know how this works? Every time those girlies be knitting like really nice sweaters with like mohair and wool, are they really paying $200? So that was a little bit of a fail, but I actually did end up buying some yarn. These two tiny little spools of yarn, almost $40. Shocked. Not a cheap hobby. Anyway, those are for my next knitting project. Right now, we're going to Joann's to get some yarn.
Wish me luck.
I somehow always end up making my way back here. Perfect timing. My Joann's recently started carrying more variety of yarns. I tried this one out and it was actually really good. This one has been tempting me. I don't know about you guys, but the idea of Joann's closing, I literally cannot fathom it. It breaks my heart. I think about it multiple times a day. Alright, so I have no idea if I did the math right, but I think this is what I'm choosing, and I think I need 3 of them, and luckily, they have 3 of them. Hello guys, so it's the next day, and yesterday all I really got done for my knitting was knitting the little gauge square. Since I'm using different yarns than what were recommended, it is a tiny bit off. This is like the first time I've actually made the knitting gauge and like actually followed a pattern and stuff, so I'm learning as I go, but this is what it's looking like. It's like a little bit bigger than what the test gauge is supposed to be, so I think I might just size down. I was gonna knit in medium because I like my stuff a little oversized, but I might just knit a size small. I think I'm gonna be starting on the sweater tomorrow, which I cannot wait. Hi guys, so I am hoping today to start on my cloud sweater. I'm undoing my swatch right now, and I just started like reading through the pattern, and I'm feeling a little bit like I screwed myself over, or you know, once again overestimated my capabilities, which I do all the stinking time. I swear I don't learn, but this is my current setup. Ta-da! I've just been trying to conceptualize what's going on with this pattern, and I actually have no idea what is going on because I'm like reading through it and I'm just like, I actually have no idea how this shaping and stuff works. And then I started looking up videos. Right now I'm learning what German short rows are. Like I thought this was a very beginner pattern, but I think I I have so much to learn, but no matter what, I am determined to at least start a little bit today. I think I'll learn as I go. I'm glad I didn't buy really fancy yarn because I'm definitely gonna have to like undo and redo this so much. And I just feel a little silly because I was actually hoping to like knit this sweater. This sounds so stupid, but I was hoping to like knit this sweater this week so that I could, you know, film and upload this video like next week, which is insane because I'm not going to be able to finish this sweater in a week. I don't know why I actually thought that. Anyways, I'm learning about the German short rows right now. Pattern starts with the back yoke. I didn't even know what a freaking yoke was. I had to look that up. We're gonna see what happens. Just me and my knitting setup right now. Well, we might as well just try it. Can't even find the end of my yarn. All right, not what I was going for, but we're gonna start by casting on one of the only things I like actually know how to do. We're gonna just figure it out as we go. Inside out. It's helping me get through this. 92 stitches. Apparently we break the working yarn, which I've never done before, but there we go. All right, so at this point, I still completely have no idea what I'm doing, but I was supposed to separate some stitches onto the other needle without knitting them. So there's a bunch of stitches here, very few on here, and I think now I start my German short rows. Oh my gosh, knitting is like genuinely another language. I feel like I'm good at following directions too, but this is actually like a riddle for me, so. Guys, I actually have a pretty good update for you. I'm feeling a little bit invincible right now because I don't know about you guys. I'm actually really curious, like what, I don't know, maybe comment, let me know what like level of knitter you would consider yourself and explain to me like how you learn. Like, was it completely from reading patterns and just practice or YouTube, or did you have someone teach you? Because I've been learning purely from just trying things out on my own or watching YouTube videos, and then more recently I've been trying to just challenge myself with patterns, but I'm not gonna lie, it's been really hard. I don't know, I just feel like knitting has been a really big challenge for me, but every time I see myself like actually learning how to do something, I get a little bit proud. So I am actually pretty happy with how much I figured out today. I think I'm gonna be able to complete the whole like back yoke part. I think I also might have figured out what I'm actually knitting because I was kind of just like blindly following. So I know this is not gonna look like very much, but I'm pretty proud that I learned how to do the little German short rows or whatever. It's also curling so much that it's like kind of hard to tell. I think what I'm doing right now is shaping like the back neck part that goes into the shoulders. Yeah, it looks kind of insane and like I still don't know what I'm doing, but I feel like I can see it starting to form. It's just like so curly. I'm gonna take a little break now, but I think I'm definitely gonna work on this a little bit more today. Some of it does look a little messy because your girl is learning as she goes. I have a little knitting update for you. I am actually pretty proud. Well, I'm proud, but I'm also a little bit nervous about the curling on this. I am still working on the back yoke, but I think I figured out the German short rows and like the shaping, because now I'm just going back and forth and making it a lot longer, which is what I will probably be doing for the next couple of days. I've just been working on it whenever I like watch shows. So we watched a lot of shows last night and I was able to get a good amount done. I'm gonna try to show you a clip where it's like laid out a little bit more because it is so curly, which is making me really nervous because my last knitting project was a scarf. It was really curly and then I blocked it and it looked good for about like 2 whole seconds and then it curled again. So I'm kind of nervous. I know that the pattern for this has a little bit of curl, especially around the collar, but I mean, I don't want it to be crazy curly. So especially because I'm not using the yarn she suggested, I'm just a little bit nervous that it be a little more curly than I want. But everything else I think is looking pretty good. Like the stitches, I'm pretty proud of. The shaping looks pretty good. I like the color of it a lot. So I'm just gonna keep working on this and hopefully I will have some more updates for you soon. So curly. Like, is that normal? You can't even see the shape, but it's kind of like a trapezoid. going to measure how much I've knit so far. I think I'm supposed to have 26 inches. 26 centimeters, which I actually have no idea what that looks like. So definitely have more to go, which is fine. I've just been going back and forth, stockinette, stitching, which is fine and mindless. I actually have a decent amount done. I probably have like 3/4 of it done. Okay, not like the sweater done, like this portion of the sweater done. This is how much stuff I have to put on it. Like, look how curly it is. Kind of freaking out about that, but I have probably 18-ish centimeters done. I'm just gonna keep going and I'll see you when I have 26. This is what my back yoke is looking like right now. I'm gonna put all of this on a piece of yarn so that I can start working the shoulders. I think it's been a little under a week since I started this sweater, so I feel like we're on pretty good track to finish the sweater relatively soon. I will say the pattern's getting a lot more confusing for me to understand. I think what we're doing is picking up some stitches from the top of the back yoke, and then we're gonna start working each of the shoulders and eventually connecting them. Right now, I'm gonna watch this little tutorial on how to pick up stitches, and hopefully this will help me out. I just learned how to pick up the stitches and I'm proud of myself. This looks a little funky, but I think what I'm doing right now is making the neckline. It's gonna make kind of like this shape, and then we're gonna do the other side and connect them or something. I'm not really sure. I have the front yoke of the sweater started, which is so exciting. I've never made a sweater quite like this. This is a real sweater. Like, I'm following a pattern. I made a raglan sweater before, so that's a real sweater too, but I don't know. I'm just gonna be basically working the front part, knitting stockinette for like 7 inches. Have the front and back started. Like, this is crazy. This is really crazy. We're gonna connect them and we're gonna work the body. have a sweater update for you. The last time I was like consistently knitting was during my 12-hour knitting challenge where I got a lot done, but since then I've just been working in the round for the body. We are on to our second spool of yarn. I thought I did the math right. I thought I would need 3 spools of yarn, but I think I might only need 2 because I just started on that second spool and I already got like this much done of the sweater. It's looking pretty good. I measured it last night and I think I have another like maybe 1.5 to 2 inches to go around on the body, which honestly ends up taking a little while because building the body has been taking so long. But I love having a mindless knitting, you know, not thinking about the increases or decreases or learning new stitches, which I've all forgotten by now, but just knitting consistently in the round while I watch my little shows and whatnot. So this is what it's looking like, and we're just gonna keep doing that until we finish the body. I am hoping that I've reached full body length right now. It's looking pretty good. I think I also might just leave it here no matter what. It's a little bit hard to tell while it's still on the needles, but according to the pattern, I want this to measure 21 3/4 of an inch. I think we're pretty close to it. Let's give it a measure. I think after this though, all that's left for the body is doing a little bit of ribbing and then you keep going a bit more. So honestly, the big bulk of this should be done pretty soon. We're at like about 21 inches, but I actually think I'm gonna call it good here because I want it a tiny bit shorter. I just like a little bit of a shorter sweater. So it's only like 3/4 of an inch shorter. So we're gonna leave it here. And the next step is to work 4 rounds in 1x1 rib and then 4 more rounds after that. I can do that, I can do that. My other update for you is that I forgot if I was talking about it in this video. I just finished Assassin's Blade and I'm starting a new audiobook. I've been in a bit of an audiobook mood. This is the next book that I'm starting. Assassin's Blade picked up a lot more for me. I'm kind of like questioning the order that I read it in because I was reading it in chronological order and I'm not sure if I should have read it in her release order, but someone said to read it in chronological and I feel like that's what makes more sense for me, but it was a little bit slow. Definitely picked up towards the end. It might have been because I was listening to it more. I'm listening to this new book kind of as a palate cleanser because while I'm listening to Assassin's Blade, I'm also reading Onyx Storm and it was kind of too much fantasy at the same time. This book's a bit of a shift in pace and we're going to finish off the body maybe today. Guys, do I have an update for you. Late last night, I finished the body of my sweater. I will admit, I tried it on last night and I have some thoughts. Not the best thought. You can probably already tell by me holding this up. Let me just show you. All right, so it's huge. This is a size small. A size small. I did the swatch. I was thinking, y'all might think I'm so dumb if you're like a knitter, but when you swatch, I'll look it up, but when you swatch something, are you supposed to like block it to the size that the swatch is supposed to be, or is that the measurement it's supposed to be pre-blocking? Because I did pre-blocking. It was like pretty close because I'm not using the yarn she recommended, but it was pretty close. But this is like way bigger, so much bigger than it was supposed to be. I'm not even the most upset about how like large it is because honestly I do wear like extremely oversized things. I think this will still be wearable. It's just like huge. I'm more upset with the fact that like had I made it the size I actually wanted it to be, I would have been able to knit it so much faster because this is honestly twice as big. Look at that. I could have had spared the time and the material of knitting like that much extra. That blows my mind. That blows my mind a lot. So I'm a little nervous about the sleeves, but I feel like the sleeve I can just stop when it feels like the right length. I don't know what was going on on with here. I think it was so bunched on the needles that I genuinely couldn't tell how wide it was as I was making it. It started to become a little more obvious the further it went along. Even honestly, when I tried it on last time when it was still bunched up here, I couldn't tell it was this stinking wide. Anyways, other than that, I mean, I like the color. It's kind of itchy because it's wool. Honestly too, this was kind of like a practice for me. Like, I didn't want to invest in really nice yarn to make this if I was just gonna screw things up. So, you know, maybe this will just be a huge sweater and this is just practice. Anyways, that's my update. We're gonna start on the sleeves today. I'm hoping the sleeves go by pretty quickly. I think honestly anything will go by so quickly after I knit the biggest body in the world. That's my update. Hello guys, it's a lot later. I am gonna work on the sleeves right now. I already forgot how to cast on, or what's it called? Not cast on, how to pick up stitches. So I'm watching a tutorial on how to do that. I actually don't know what I would do if she didn't have these video tutorials.
Jeg vil gav, hvor jeg skulle strikke masker.
I hate to admit that this took so long. It was like my counting or something, but I finally, why do I keep forgetting what it's called? I keep wanting to call it casting on. I finally picked up my 66 stitches. Then I'm going to purl 2 rounds and then I just knit the rest of the sleeves. I also need to keep in mind to keep like trying it on because I think my sleeves are gonna need to be a lot shorter than what she recommended, but let's just get a start on those sleeves. So very unfortunately, sweater was like just not making sense. So I looked it up and you are in fact supposed to block your gauge swatch for measuring it, which now that I think about it actually makes perfect sense. Don't know why I did that. That just means the sweater is like way bigger than I wanted it to be. And then especially after I block it, it's gonna be even bigger. You know what? It's good practice. We'll see how it looks after blocking, if it is somewhat wearable, but most likely it won't be. So I'm gonna have Alex try it on. It might even be big on him. This is my model. And this is how far I got on one of the sleeves. Well, it might be too cropped for you. Well, yeah, imagine what it looks like on me. Yeah, it's like big on you. Oh my god.
Oh, it's okay. It is a little, it's gonna be a little cropped. This is my belly buttons right here.
Oh yeah. Would you wear this?
Yeah, I would have to like wear like a shirt under it or something.
If you tuck this shirt in.
I mean, here's my belly button right here.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's cute though. It's very cute. It's very cute. I'll wear it.
Terrible.
I'll wear it.
Guys, I showed you guys this a little bit last night, but now that my feelings have developed more, I'm here to show you guys one more time my super oversized massive sweater because in fact, I was supposed to block my gauge swatch. I think the realization came slowly where I was like, tee-hee, like maybe I was supposed to do that, but no, it made a huge difference. Not only is this like 4 times bigger than it was supposed to be, I also just knit so much more than I needed to. Like if I knit them out, like the correct surface area, I would have been done with this sweater by now. The body is so wide. I'm gonna finish it. It's good practice. It's a learning lesson. I'm not gonna just stop with like half of a sleeve done, but best case scenario, I'll block it. It won't grow too much and like maybe Alex will be able to wear it, but like I was actually so sad last night. And like logically when I think about it, it makes so much sense. Like duh, you should block your gauge swatch. I guess I just am such a beginner. I need everything written out so literally. I like that did not even cross my mind. Now I'm facing the consequences because my sweater is massive. I was working on the sleeve a decent amount last night. I got a decent amount done, but I'm just so unmotivated now that I know I'm like not even gonna be able to wear this. Anyways, this is just like not the best news ever. And I swear, I feel like I make the biggest mistakes on these really time consuming projects and it's beyond me. I don't know. It's like bad beginners knitting luck or something. Let me show you just how large this is. Like tell me how I was making this and I thought, oh yeah, that's a size small. What the heck? Like even the neckline is so wide. I don't know. I'm just like, ugh. But I'm gonna keep making the sleeves and I'll see you guys when I have hopefully a better update. guys. I think I have the first sleeve done. I was doing it as many rows or whatever as the pattern said, but once again, because I messed up so much, it doesn't really match up with the pattern anymore, so I'm gonna end the sleeve off here. It's already pretty long. So I'm gonna do the ribbing and the couple extra rows so that it'll kind of look like the same as down here, and then we'll do the other sleeve, and then we'll do the collar. Once again, I've been so unmotivated to do this. Knitting the sleeves has not been fun at all. I don't know if there's a better way to like twist your work as you go in circles around the sleeve, but it's just kind of annoying when you have like a whole sweater that you're like carrying to knit. I am kind of interested what it'll look like once I block it. Either way, it was a learning experience. So we're gonna start on the other sleeve. Believe it or not, I am casting off midway my second and my final sleeve. I thought this day would never come. Honestly, since I made my sweater so dang wide, the sleeves did not have to be nearly as long as the pattern required it to be. I'm really bad at casting off. After this, all that I have to do is the neck, and then I need to figure out how to like weave in the ends or whatever you do with knitting. I actually don't know what you do with knitting. I've been like tying knots, so maybe I'm not supposed to be doing that. But after the neck, all that I have to do is block it and I'll be done. I don't know if I'm gonna include the blocking in this video. I'll probably make like a TikTok or something out of that. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous about the blocking portion. It's the end of my second sleeve. This is my current giant sweater reveal. It's so big. Also with like the proportions, it looks cropped. We are finally on the very last step of this pattern, which is doing the neck. So I just cast on 74 stitches around the neckline, and we're just supposed to continue doing stockinette stitching upwards until the neck is, I think it was, until it reaches 2¼ inches. Hopefully I'll be able to finish that today. And then all that's left after that is weaving in the ends and then done with our very first sweater, which is crazy. I haven't been tracking super well, but since I started this sweater, it's March 8th now, and I started it on February 15th, I think. So I've been working on it for almost 3 weeks. That's like not too bad, right? I will say there were moments when I took like, not moments, there were periods when I took much longer break, aka when I found out I am making this like 5 sizes too big and I got so unmotivated. Honestly guys, I have a tiny bit of hope that I will still be able to wear this even as a crazy oversized sweater. So I think my motivation came back a little bit. So let's knit this neckline so quick so that we can finally try on our finished sweater. My goodness guys, it is finally the moment. Oh, just pulled a oopsie. We are finishing this sweater today. As you can tell, hopefully, this thing is darn near done. We have a full sweater here. I'm just finishing off the neckline. I'm gonna give it a quick measure actually, because it's supposed to be 2¼ inches. I might have actually already reached that. I was knitting a bit. Oh yeah, we are actually kind of past that. We're almost at 2½ inches. So all I have to do is cast off the neckline and then we'll be ready to try it on. This is kind of crazy because this has been quite the process. I will admit I got so unmotivated while I was making this that I ended up doing like 3 other knitting projects during it. Though this took me under a month to finish, I do think I could have done it a little bit faster if I like really forced myself to focus on this, but I was just really devastated after the big mishap. So yeah, that's valid. I ended up making these chunky knit beanies for Alex and I. Those turned out really cute and they were very effortless. We were also traveling. So some of the clips I showed you guys, we were in Monterey because I joined Alex on a work trip. So it was kind of hard to bring this whole sweater with me. So I would knit smaller projects. I don't know if you guys do that too when you travel or are out and about. I think it's easier to have like a little purse project sometimes. But I made 2 beanies. Those turned out really cute. And then I started a little scarf actually just last night. Similar to the Sophie scarf, a little bit larger. That's been another fun, more mindless project. I'm not super sure what I'm gonna do though, because I do want to remake this sweater in a higher quality yarn and my size. Especially now that I know all the steps and stuff, I think it will be easier, but at the same time, some of you guys have related to me on this in my last video where I was also making this in my 12-hour knitting challenge. People who have made the cloud sweater have said it's very repetitive because it's basically just doing stockinette, and I think a lot of people get kind of less motivated during the body part because it just takes so long and it's kind of boring. There's a joy to it being very simple. It's a nice mindless pattern during certain portions of it, but I don't know if it will be as enjoyable of a knit if I do it as my next project versus if I give myself a little break and then do it. Either way, I need to find out what yarn I want to get, and I have to order some yarn online now that, I don't even know if I talked about it in this video, but now that Joann's is freaking closed. They're not like actually closed, but they're basically closed because they don't have any yarn at my store anymore, which is just heartbreaking. It's so sad. I'm gonna stop yapping and I'm gonna finish this sweater. This is the last stitch of my entire sweater. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to try this on. Not excited to weave in the ends though. Still don't know how to do that. Whenever I do this part, I envision I'm the person cutting like an opening ribbon or something. That's what it feels like. Let's try this thing on, guys. Here we are for the big final reveal. Let's try this thing on. I'm nervous. I've also been told this yarn is very, very itchy. So this is definitely gonna be more like a sweater jacket if I do end up being able to wear it. It's so big! Not that that's surprising at all. We knew this was coming, but I will say it's huge. It is huge. It's huge, but I think it will be wearable. I'm gonna have to block it. I'll insert some photos after it's blocked. I'm not gonna include the blocking process in this video. I'm definitely gonna make a short form video though, so if you wanna see the actual blocking process, you can check out my other socials, but this is the sweater. I will say, I think my emotions with this were like, and then now it's going up a little bit. Like, I think I'm feeling a little bit better looking at it. Like, I think this will actually be wearable. It's just like very, very wide. Like, I definitely, not so much about the look of it, but if I had a choice, I wouldn't have knit this wide of a body because it just took me so long and I did not need to do that. But that was my process. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this very long journey of knitting my first like real sweater. I know it's kind of fake saying that because I have a lot of knitting videos, but I've never really followed a pattern like this before or knit something in this way, I guess. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. If anything, it was really good practice and experience, and I feel like I'm a lot more comfortable reading patterns and learning new stitches and stuff. I feel like I learned a lot about knitting during this, so hopefully this video will be your motivation to knit with me, or if you're in the middle of your knitting journey like I am, that you will be encouraged to keep learning and keep practicing. But I think I'm gonna end off this video here. If you guys want to see more knitting videos, make sure to let me know in the comments, say hi, and of course tell me what you are working on during this very long, I'm sure this video is gonna be so long, very long video. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys! So I had Alex try this on and we realized my sleeves are different lengths. I think it will be wearable. This, pretty happy with how it turned out. I don't know how I didn't notice when I did my try on earlier, but I genuinely did not notice. I was telling him I filmed my outro, I filmed.
It just looks like you have one really long arm.
Yeah! It was crazy.
So funny.
That's the end of my
It looks like you're like hiding something.
I don't know how to